Hey everyone, welcome back to 25 Sweetpeas and welcome to the Christmas series. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this really cute tropical beachy Christmas stocking. All you need is an iPad, an Apple Pencil, and Procreate downloaded. So let's get going. Okay, so as usual for this series, we are starting with a 3000 by 3000 canvas with the DPI set to 300, so it's good print quality if you would like. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the background color of the canvas. So today I'm thinking we're going to go with sort of a warm tannish shade or a warm sand color. It's been one of my go-to colors lately for backgrounds rather than working on white. I just really enjoy it. So I've got that selected. Now I'm going to make sure that I've got my pencil set to my, actually no, I'm going to change the color again. Sorry. Now I'm going to go and turn on the grid guides. So press the wrench, press canvas, turn on the grid guides, turn the sides all the way up, and then press done. Now we've got a big plus in the middle of our canvas so we can make sure to have an easy guide to line things up to the middle. And then I've got my sketching brush, which is a 6B brush, my blue color that I like to sketch with. And now I'm going to start by sketching a backwards J. Now, I know this seems a little unconventional, but I found stockings rather hard to draw, but using this J guideline was really helpful. So now that I've got my backwards J on a layer, I'm gonna kind of just go around it, and I'm making like big bubble letterings or something like that. And this is really gonna help me get a decent stocking shape. Again, the stocking shape in general I find to be super challenging, so just play around with it until you're happy with it, and don't be too hard on yourself for it. Like I said, try the J trick, and if that doesn't work, just try a different direction. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and erase the backwards J. And now I've kind of got this guide for the stocking that I'm going to go ahead and center because we've got those grid lines on. It makes it super easy to center. And now that I've got that done, that's what I'm going to use as my sketch here. I'm not going to go ahead and sketch all of the like little details. So we're just going to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this layer on to a multiply blend mode and turn the opacity down as well. I'm going to pull my new layer underneath it, and we're going to start coloring now. Pretty simple sketch for this one. So I've decided to go with a tropically color palette. I'm going to go for like this minty turquoisey shade. I'm going to be using the 6B pencil today, and I'm just going to color in the main part of the stocking. We're not going to worry about the fluff part at this point, so just outline your stocking and then color it in. Next up, we're going to add a new layer and make it a clipping mask to the stocking. I'm going to select a red shade, and we're going to kind of give this stocking a colored toe. So I'm doing my red there just at the tip, and then I want to give it a little bit of definition. So I'm actually going to turn an alpha lock on that layer and make my red a little bit darker by turning up the saturation and down the brightness down. And then I'm just going to kind of outline this edge here. It's not going to be super noticeable, but I'll know that it's there, and I feel like it helps make a little more interest down at this section. I'm also going to go ahead and blend it out so it gives like a natural gradient like look. And once that is done, I'm going to add another new layer. I'm going to turn on a clipping mask as well. And this layer I'm going to turn on to a multiply blend mode. And I'm going to select the same color that I was using for the stocking. And I'm just going to outline it here and there with the color because we want to kind of also give it some... Oops, I had it on the wrong layer, sorry. This needs to go in between the red and the stocking, and that way it goes behind the red for the shadows as well. So once I've kind of added where I want the shadows, I'm going to go ahead and blend them out. You can always add more shadows later on, but this will help give us a good basis. And if you want to go ahead and put like a darker shadow at the top, that'll be like underneath the fluff, go for it at this point. I've also decided to go ahead and add a little texture. So I'm using like a flat charcoal brush that I have and just adding a little bit of texture. At this point, if you have a favorite texture brush or maybe you have like a knit brush, you can totally use that at this point to add like a knit or a fabric like appeal. I know I used to have one that kind of gave a a knitted like look, but I don't think I have it on this iPad. So I've got a nice little speckledy texture here. It makes it kind of look like it would be soft to touch. Now I'm going to add a new layer above everything, and this one is not a clipping mask by any means. I'm going to go back to my 6B. Actually, no, let's go in with the ink brush here. I've got my white selected. I've turned up the brush pretty large in size, and I'm just going to swirl my brush around here and give us like a fuzzy top to this little stocking. Now I went ahead and grouped all of the stocking parts together, and they're in a group called stocking, and now I'm going to add some details on top. So at this point, feel free to decorate your stocking however you want. Maybe you want initials, maybe you want a little scene, but today I'm going to be drawing a flamingo wearing a Christmas hat, and then it's going to say flamingo all the way. So I'm not really going to explain how to do this. I'm just going to let you guys watch, because honestly, it's trial and error every time when I'm drawing a flamingo. But don't be too hard on yourself with this part. Just draw whatever you want, and remember, the scale of this is so tiny that the details don't have to be super detailed. Once you're done with all of your stocking decor part, if you want to add a kind of like a little loop for you to hang the stocking from, you can add a new layer and put it at the very bottom of all of your layers and just add in your little shape. Pick a contrasting color. I went for the red like I had on the foot of, not on the foot, on the toe of the stocking, as well as the Santa hat that the flamingo is wearing. And then I also made it a little bit darker so I could make one side darker than the other, so it maybe looked a little bit more realistically like a loop, not just a random shape. But at that point, your stocking is done. The only parts that I'm going to be doing next are just sort of adding the elements to the background to make it look a little less flat. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the actual stocking, actually merge it all into one layer. Then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to turn alpha lock on for this layer. I'm going to select the color that I'm using for the background of the piece, and then I'm going to fill that layer with that color. Turn it on a multiply blend mode, and if I want to, I could go ahead and make it a little bit darker, but make sure that multiply blend mode is on. And then I'm going to undo the alpha lock and use the Gaussian blur a little bit just to like give it a little bit of shadow behind the actual stocking. As you guys can see now, it has a little bit of a shadow behind it. And if I went too fast, I'm super sorry. If you want more like another video on like how to do that in general, let me know and I will be happy to do that. Then I'm going to use that same texture brush that I've been using lately on another layer with it. It also turned on to multiply, and that's basically it for this. I've turned off the grid guides, and here is a look at the cute little Christmas stocking that we created. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys do decide to recreate it, I would love to see, so feel free to post on social media in anywhere, and tag me at 25sweetpeas and use the hashtag, which is down in the description box below. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!